guys.
What's up?
She is Vonetta from Alabama, right?
Yeah, and he's, well, if you're from Alabama, his name is Savio. If you're from Brazil, it's Savio.
That's right.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about today, Savio?
Come on, you need to shoulder me, right? Take it easy,
Savio.
relax. Well, today I would like to talk about one topic that is a very talked about topic in Fortaleza.
Yes.
The dangerousness of the city, how dangerous Fortaleza is from the locals' perspective, but also from the foreigners' perspective and the media outside of Brazil as well. So
People are going to murder me.
not about it. You are with me, all right? I'm friends and cousins with the gangsters here, all right? So not about it.
God. Okay, so yeah, let's dive into this topic.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's pretty controversial because since I got here, people have been warning me about how violent the city is. I got here about 8 years ago, and like almost every single day, people are living in fear. And I absolutely believe that fear. It is very real and present with them. The majority of the people that I know, they've either been robbed, or they know somebody that has been robbed, or they at least know somebody that was killed,
Yeah.
But for me, it's not so shocking because that's also true for me in America. Like, having a friend be robbed, or having a friend be killed, or for me, it's not so
Shocking.
yes, because this is also the same sort of thing is true for a lot of Americans as well.
But Vanilla, how do you feel about it as a Fortaleza, as a local? Because you are a local, no?
I'm a gringa.
No, but you are
A local gringa, yes.
After 8 years, you can consider yourself a local.
Sure,
So how do you feel
thanks.
about it? Have you ever, experienced something bad in Fortaleza in terms of violence?
But it's coming from the perspective, because I'm a gypsy,
Yeah.
I've traveled a lot of places around the world, a lot of it alone, and I do feel like the sort of the rules of the street are the same everywhere in the
Yeah.
world. So I cannot deny that Fortaleza has a very high homicide rate. That is true. But when I analyze the data, for example, what we can see is that there are about 120 neighborhoods in Fortaleza. And of those 120 neighborhoods, the majority of the drug and gang activity, which is the major cause of the homicides we see, it's not a lot of like random homicides. It's like the majority of it, unfortunately, is highly concentrated in poor neighborhoods. And so it's about, the last statistic that I read is that of 120 neighborhoods, like 75 to 85% of the homicides occur in about 50 of those neighborhoods. So that leaves, a lot of the city still relatively safe and free. When you're not in one of the dangerous neighborhoods, the major, I guess, threat that you face is being robbed. Occasionally you'll be robbed with a weapon like a gun or a knife, as far as what I've heard. The majority of the time, when people comply, nobody wants to hear this, but I'll say it. The majority of the time, when people comply immediately with robbers, nothing happens to them. On the other hand, when they do not immediately comply with them, that's when the situation gets ratcheted up.
Yes.
What do you
yes.
think?
No, yeah, I think you are spot on. The sad part of it is if out of 120 suburbs, 50 is where actually the homicides happen. That means almost 50% of the city, half the city, it's a place that you can't go, right? As a citizen, as a normal person, you just can't go there. Or if you go there, the likelihood of something bad happening to you is pretty high. That's the sad part of it. But if you live, as I said before, in Vajota, Meireles, or Aldeota, which are the three fanciest, richest suburbs in town, you know, the worst thing would happen to you would be somebody, you know, grabbing your mobile phone or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it's we can't say like, or I can't say that the city just has no danger. You know.
No.
But there's a way to consider it. I think one big mistake, for example, that a lot of people make here is sort of staying inside their houses. Like one of the number one rules of the streets, you know, is to get out of your house and let the streets know who you are. Like let the streets know that you belong there, that you live there, you know. But also in this city, because we do know that it has a very high incidence of petty crime, like robbing cell phones, you know.
Yeah.
So one thing as well is that I do think it's necessary to sort of in your mind be calculating about it, and rather than moving away always from that thought of like, I don't want to be robbed, I don't want to be robbed.
Somebody, you have to face it, right?
Yes.
Because in my opinion, if you become too paranoid about it, you are helping the situation, you know, to get worse.
Yes.
What I'm saying by that is you're not helping the situation, right?
Yes.
Myself, I walk freely on the streets. If something happens to me, I'm already expecting it, okay?
Yes.
I already have, I don't know, if I lose my phone, what can I do about it? I'm gonna buy another one.
Yes.
I just can't let myself get trapped inside of my own house just because of some numbers. Of course, I'm not gonna go to a certain suburb at midnight. I won't do that, I'm not crazy. But walk in my own suburb, go to the shops, or maybe come back from a party late at night. I'll have to do that because that's how we live. We are human beings, we are social animals. We need to interact with people, and I don't think staying home is helpful.
Yeah, so if you were to give somebody advice, you know, what would it be? Like,
be smart about it, but don't be paranoid, okay? Use common sense. If you use common sense, guys, you're gonna decrease the likelihood of something happening to you in more than 80%, okay? Use common sense, that's it.
For me, specifically...
Be like a gypsy, like her.
Yes,
okay?
oh, well, he's a gypsy too. It's not just me.
Look at people, you know, straight in their eyes.
Yeah.
Act confidently, all right?
That, like,
don't carry
that's the
jewelry.
Main thing. That's the main thing. It's like walking
like
around and like looking at people and greeting people on the street.
Showing confidence.
But if you see somebody coming for you, at some point face that real danger in your mind, you know, and 100% of the time when you walk outside of your house, you know, try to be like sort of mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared. If somebody comes to you, immediately comply. You are immediately going to give them whatever they want and start putting space between you and that person.
Yes.
For me, I don't, you know, like I want to keep my cell phone, computer, and whatnot, but it's just not that important. It's not more important than my life. You know, so what if I worked hard for it? It's just not more important than my life, and it's not so important that I'm going to stay in my house and never go anywhere or leave the country.
Absolutely, I think that's the most important message from this video. You know, to use common sense and also to care about your life. Everything else is secondary.
Yes. All right.
All right.